I'm back. Hey y'all, happy Friday and welcome back for the first time in a little over a month to Laurie and Billie Jean Let's Eat. So, for anyone who does not know, this is my cooking show. Every week I make a new recipe from my grandmother's cookbook that she left us before she passed away. The cookbook is oddly cryptic. It seems to be trying to stump me at every turn, but that is why it is important that we persevere. Today from the cookbook, we're making a brownie trifle. So this is basically like a layered dessert that you have to make ahead of time so it does need to chill for 8 hours before you can eat it, which is deeply unfair because I would like some chocolate tonight, but it's not gonna happen. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell you what you need to make your brownie trifle, and then we're gonna try to make it and it's gonna go fine or it's gonna go bad. And that's the beauty and mystery of this channel, is sometimes things are delicious and sometimes things are in catastrophe. So I'm excited, you're excited, I can tell. I have come back from the West Coast, I am wiser, I am older, I've eaten more food. Let's cook. Okay, so here is what we need for our brownie trifle. We have Betty Crocker's fudge brownie mix. So I do want to make an important statement here that I've heard there has been some rumblings that perhaps sometimes my recipes go wrong because I cannot find the correct ingredients. I just want to say the grocery store is not what it used to be, especially not when grandma was cooking things. For example, I did try to find the fudge brownie mix she mentioned, which had a very specific net weight. I believe it was like 19.2 ounces. There are no boxes of fudge brownies that have 19.2 ounces, so I got the 18.3 ounce. This is the best we can do, and we are trying. Continuing on that same vein, it said to get an instant chocolate mousse mix. Now, I cannot find an instant chocolate mousse mix, but this is chocolate pudding mix. I even got the fancy one to see if it made a difference. So I read online you can add some heavy whipping cream to chocolate pudding, and then it's chocolate mousse, so that's what it's gonna be. I figure pudding's the same either way, but this is where we're at, okay? I have Heath English toffee bits, which I don't know if this has the chocolate that Heath bars normally have in it. And again, I am being punked. So we also have Kahlua, some nice coffee liqueur that is going to go in this dessert. Last but not least, I did take issue with something in this recipe, which is that it said to use Cool Whip from the store. I am a little bit bougie, so I did want to make my own Cool Whip to go on top just because it tastes better and it's super easy. So that's all you need. And now we're going to start layering this dessert in a some sort of system that I haven't figured out yet, so TBD. So apparently I have to make the brownies, which after the cake last time I did not see coming. So the recipe is once again a lie. You need eggs and vegetable oil to make the brownies in this box. So, brownies, here we come. Okay, so our brownies are in the oven. They've got like half an hour to cook and then they have to cool down before you can do anything with them. In the meantime, I'm going to make my whipped cream first so I can see how much of my carton that uses. And then I'm gonna make the pudding with some of the whipped cream to mousse it up. Again, unclear if that is what I'm supposed to do, but I just like my pudding thick and my whipped cream homemade. So that's what we're gonna do. Whipped cream first, let's go. More news before the whipped cream. I have discovered that there are no instructions for the Kahlua, which I do want to point out was the most expensive thing I had to buy to make this recipe. So there's nothing to do with the Kahlua, so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a little in the whipped cream just for taste, and then I'm gonna mix it into the mousse because I don't see anywhere else it could possibly go. So Kahlua is going in the mousse, which is pudding with heavy whipping cream. Please don't ask any questions. Thank you. Easy as that. We've got whipped cream. All you needed was our heavy whipping cream, some confectioner's sugar, and then a little bit of vanilla and a little bit of Kahlua. And we mixed it. It's perfect. We got nice peaks here. So I'm just gonna put this in the fridge and go ahead and start working on the quote unquote mousse. So we now have our chocolate pudding slash faux mousse. I made it with whipping cream and a half a cup of Kahlua. So it's supposed to set within 5 minutes. We'll see if I've done anything to ruin that forever. So we got about 5 minutes left on the brownie, and then once it cools, we're basically just gonna layer this, and we're gonna have our trifle that we can't eat for 8 hours. So you really need a trifle. I don't know what are dishes called, like a trifle dish to do this, so I might have to do it in a bowl. TBD. Okay, back shortly. Okay, I think we're good to go on our brownie here. We're gonna let it cool, and then we have to crumble it. So TBD on how I'm gonna do that. In the meantime, the salad bowl is gonna be our trifle bowl. So we'll layer in here our brownie trifle, and then we'll not eat it. So a lot of work, little reward, and that's life. Okay, back soon. Okay, folks, here is what we have. We are going to layer our trifle. We are going to have a brownie layer. You can see I kind of like crumbled up the brownies already. We're gonna have a mousse layer. Yes, I did dip my finger in there to see if it was actually hard. It is. Then we are going to have a Heath layer. If I remember from this recipe, you can do it with other types of candy too, though I cannot remember what types of candy. And then we're gonna have a whipped cream layer, and then we're gonna do that all over again. So we're gonna do two rounds of layers into our salad bowl, which will now become a calorie bowl. And honestly, I probably could eat it now because I've had all of this in the fridge, so each of the individual elements, but maybe not, we'll see. Let's just get it going now. Okay, folks, this is a hot mess. I think it's more about what it's being served in than me, personally. How's it my fault that I don't have a trifle dish? So we're gonna set this, so this beautiful trifle is gonna go in the fridge to chill overnight, and then we'll give it a taste test tomorrow. So I'll see you in 1 second, but it'll be tomorrow. Thanks. So I have waited far over 8 hours to eat my brownie trifle. Before I dig in, here's what we've kind of got here. I do want to note that I have noticed in a lot of my videos, I am very harsh. I criticize very harshly how the food tastes right in the moment. And then a lot of times I come back later and I'm like, this is pretty good. And I was awfully harsh in the video. So I'm trying to do better. I'm a perfectionist, so if things don't super excite me as soon as I eat them, sometimes I can be kind of harsh on them, and I feel like if you eat something right after you make it, normally it doesn't excite you as much because you just spent a bunch of time on it. So I'm trying to do better when I talk about how the stuff tastes and not be quite so harsh. But I do want to say for the record that the gluten-free sausage balls were absolutely disgusting. Cool. Okay, so let's dig into our brownie trifle. It is a lot. So let's see. Now, instead of listing my criticisms first, I'm gonna say what's good about it.
It's very chocolatey, so if you like chocolate, I think it's nice. It's pretty easy. I don't know if I go straight to like the easiest thing in the world, but pretty simple to make. So I think it's good if you're like, you know, having a quick dinner party or something. I think it'd be a great dessert for that. Now onto my criticisms. I overbaked the brownies a little bit because I was trying to make sure it got cooked all the way through. So the brownies, here's where I understand my criticism from the viewers, that sometimes I do things that maybe don't pay off in the end, but because I only had a square pan, I had to bake the brownies a little bit longer because it's like deeper. And so I think that caused the top to cook a little bit too much. So this would be better if the brownies were softer. Everything else is pretty good. I'm gonna done a little more sugar in the whipped cream. But yeah, overall, I think it turned out pretty good. It's a lot more food than I need, so that's tough. And I think if you had an actual trifle dish, it would probably be a little bit neater and thicker. So overall, I think there's some merit to trying it on your own. It's not my favorite thing from the cookbook and not my favorite dessert, but I'm not too disappointed. So I'm gonna have the rest of my brownie trifle and I'll see you guys next week. Bye. Okay. Wrigley, not everything is about you.